Welcome to an overview of the Smith method. I'm Doug Smith, a guitarist, teacher, composer, and the author of the Smith method. Over the next few minutes, I'll be giving you an overview of the teaching materials and the methods that I've used in my teaching practice. I'm hopeful that teachers and guitarists will find them helpful as a guide to learning and as very interesting material. I began to play guitar in my teens, about 15 years of age, and I began teaching around the same time, believe it or not. And when I was working with my neighbors and friends that I was teaching with, I eventually got to be able to teach some young children. And over these years, between my teens and early 20s, I discovered that materials that were available for learning and teaching, I just wasn't able to use them, so they were effective. So I kept hunting for new and better materials. This eventually led me to develop my own materials, which became the Smith method. In the early 1970s, I began teaching at the McPhail Center for the Arts, which was then part of the University of Minnesota. And from 1974 through 1985, we had a wonderful children's program for guitar. During that time, I tested out and wrote lots of different materials for youngsters, teaching them how to play. And we worked with these materials over a good number of years and with hundreds of students and finding what worked and what didn't work. Eventually, my partner, Jack McNally, and myself left McPhail and the University of Minnesota and started our own school, which became McNally Smith College of Music. And from 1985 until the present time, we have developed our college, and I've also taken time on the side to help refine some of the teaching methods that I used to use with children. I'm pleased to release these now as the Smith method. Now I'd like to go over with you some of the special features that are found in the Smith method. The first one is that we've developed practical techniques that allow these young children to play and learn at an impressive rate of improvement. The musicianship that young children have is there within them, ready to blossom out. And by learning how to play in the right way, it's surprising just how fast their progress can be and at what levels they're able to play. So the Smith method allows this to develop in ways that I've found just remarkable. At 6 years of age, the young child is just mature enough that they can start learning how to play music on an instrument. They learn how to play very musically, expressively, and their attention span, though, can be starting to be very short, can grow over time, and they'll have many years of being able to enjoy and play music from that time. The Smith method focuses at the beginning with children on learning how to play by ear. This is important because it helps connect the person, the young child, with playing music from the heart. Without learning how to read right away, it's much easier for the child to start making music that connects inside, and getting attuned to it and playing and learning the techniques that go with it so that later on they'll be ready to learn how to read music. We've developed extensive materials for learning how to read. It goes step by step, all the way from complete beginner through the various stages of growth, through learning how to play a little faster, through the various stages of growth, to intermediate playing, to more advanced, and all the way to concert level playing. Another special feature of the Smith method is that it forms the basis for being able to play any style of music. Because we learn how to play by ear and also by reading, the young child can go on to play types of music that are formed by ear, playing by ear, and all the types of music where they can learn how to play by reading. So this means they can go on to play popular music and folk music and styles of music where we sing and play, or different types of world music, any type of music that's played by ear are also classical music and chamber music and music where we learn to play by reading, where reading is so important. At the age of 6, we can't tell where the child is going to be going musically. That's still a mystery, and it comes out over the many years of playing. But with the Smith method, we're ready to go any direction that the child needs to go. We're going to start now with the rote book. The rote book is playing by ear, and it's for children from the ages of 5 to 12 using nylon string classical guitars. Again, about age 6, I think, is about the ideal age to start. There are 6 levels within the rote book. The first level is songs going from Hot Cross Buns through the Twinkle, Twinkle Little Star, and the variations that we have for Twinkle. During that time, the student will learn how to play, they'll learn how to hold the guitar, they'll learn the basic techniques of getting a good sound, a good tone, playing in rhythm, playing while they're being accompanied, and then making music. And along with this comes developing a nice musical memory. All of these things are accomplished in the songs. Hot Cross Buns, Mary Had a Little Lamb, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and the variations that go with Twinkle. Then we can tell when we're ready for the next level because the young child will be able to play Twinkle Twinkle and all of the variations back to back without stopping. That takes a certain amount of technique, musicality, but also an ability to pay attention. So the second level, then, for the rote book, is another set of songs, a series of songs that go from lightly roll all the way through simple gifts. There's quite a few little songs in here. The songs are a little longer, the beautifuls, melodies are developing their musicianship, and they're learning how to play and use all 4 of their fingers. Level 2, they're playing melodies, musicianship, longer musical memory, and improved technique at this level. Usually, to complete the first level, it takes anywhere from 6 weeks for the older children who are 8, 10, 11, 12, to a full year. But the average time is around 3 months to 6 months, depending upon the age of the child. Pace does not matter so much, because children go at their own rate. So it really doesn't matter, doesn't mean anything about their development if they're going slower or faster. You just go at the rate that they enjoy playing and making music. For level 2, then, the child, again, is playing this music, and that will take, maybe another 3 months on average. So if you're looking at this stage, levels 1 and level 2 are often accomplished within 6 months, but it can be as long as a year or even a year and a half, depending upon the age of the child and how fast they progress. Level 3, we get into the jigs and reels, playing faster. This is the part where I mentioned where their technique is so impressive, because we wouldn't have guessed that they would be playing music of this difficulty this early on, and yet it's what their fingers just fall into wanting to be able to do. And so here we have the Greenholm jig, the Hanover Square hornpipe, and Captain White, and the drummer's reel, and a variation. And these songs are very rhythmic, and the children learn how to groove and keep a groove and play melodies that are really zipping along. At level 4, now they play their first guitar solos, where they're playing just by themselves without an accompaniment. And they play a Child's Prayer, Malagueña, and a couple of waltzes. This helps them to learn how to play a different type of technique with guitar. It's called free stroke playing. Then with level 5, while they're refining their music for level 4, we move into playing 3 Bach minuets. And this takes their musicality and musicianship and melody playing to a level that's even better and more advanced than it was when they were playing all the jigs and the reels. And finally, we finish the rote training with level 6, where we learn how to play 2-part music, playing a melody with the bass line and the melody with our fingers, both at the same time. We have simpler melodies, so we're playing these 2 parts at once. We play 3 Blind Mice, Row, Row, Row Your Boat, Brother John, and Jingle Bells. All songs the children enjoy playing, but now they're playing 2 parts of music at the same time. With this musical foundation then, the children, even though they're starting as young as age 6, are then ready to be able to go on to learn how to read music. They're also having enough facility then at this stage, after they've completed this book, to be able to move forward and learn how to play chords as well for playing popular music. So those can be introduced. And their ear training is advanced enough so that they can also begin to improvise, play little melodies and tunes and these types of things as well. So you can see how this learning by rote through this method helps pave the way for the child to be able to go and play different styles of music. So if they're a little bit older after the rote book, they can go into playing with different types of guitars and going on to learn how to read music. In completing the rote book, it can take a child anywhere between 1.5 to 3 years, depending upon the age in which they began. The pace in which they do it really doesn't matter. It may take some people going through it at a rate where they're going through it very quickly, and they'll complete it in a year, year and a half. Others that go through it at a slower pace, or they're starting younger and it takes to 3 years, again, that's fine. So as a normal pace, anywhere between 1.5 years to 3 years to complete the rote training. Finishing the rote book then, now we're ready to go to learn how to read music.